We are on the front lines of fighting poverty and injustice, and we absolutely cannot fail.
Got into some trouble because I started running with the wrong crowd, stuff like that. I got arrested.
I was making C's and D's and sometimes F's.
I've been through emotional abuse, physical abuse, and just tortured.
Stuff that would happen after school and at home and stuff, I would carry it on to when I got to school.
How I came to Stanford Academy was because I got into a lot of fights. And so.
I wasn't doing good in school and I wasn't paying attention or anything. I got kicked out of class every day.
Domus Academy, our junior high, whether you're at Trailblazers or junior high in Stanford, or whether you're at Stanford Academy or high school. Domus schools work with those most struggling young people.
We work with the kids who have been kicked out of, dropped out of, or otherwise given up on by the rest of the city, by the rest of the country. And we take those young people and we give them hope, we give them inspiration, and we help them successfully transition into some kind of post-secondary ed.
We have rigorous academics. We have a longer school day where we have kids engaged in longer class periods. We have smaller classrooms.
We have some of the most incredible people in the world on our staff. They go above and beyond every single day to help change the lives of our young people. If you come to Stanford Academy at 6 o'clock in the morning, you'll find cars in the parking lot, teachers preparing lessons before school, and if you come there at 6 o'clock at night, you'll still find cars in the parking lot because we have teachers and family advocates who are doing things with young people after school, whether it's helping them with a math problem or taking them to a rugby practice or starting a rugby club or a poetry club. Our staff continually goes above and beyond, and it makes all the difference in the world in the lives of our young people.
Stanford Academy definitely changed my life.
Yeah, it did. Thank you.
Even after graduating, they've still been by my side. I feel like I'm still at the school, even I'm graduated, they're still here, still helping me.
Stanford Academy is helping a lot with the emotions that I feel because I have teachers that I can go and talk to. Instead of expressing that emotion physically, I express it by writing poems.
I like Trailblazers because they listen to me and they help me and they want me to pass. They want me to make something of my future.
At Stanford Academy and Trailblazers, they don't give up on you. They try to the best of their abilities and they push you.
They really do care for us. They bring us to the side. They help us with the stuff that we need to do. If we got a problem, they'll talk to us. You don't have to go to them with your problems. They see that you have a problem and they can notice it. They'll pull you aside and they'll talk to you about it to fix the problem. A lot of places you feel like you're alone. Here you feel like more of a family and somebody cares for you.
Our kids are tough. They come from a variety of struggles and hardship and heartache. They want to show the world that they're better than that they are going to be successful. They want to blaze that trail, and they want to show everybody that I am the best at what I can be.
I made honor roll. Yeah, I'm going to college.
Me, I just got accepted to Lincoln Tech yesterday. I'm going to give it my best to show them what I got to offer.
I'm going to culinary art school. I'm going to be a chef.
Oh.
I just want to be successful. I just want to get somewhere, be somebody.
I don't know what I'm going to be when I get older, but I know I'm going to be something great.
How to approach OER. I mean, our big problem is we've got sort of massive teachers in mostly higher education who may be interested in OER and have started looking at the stuff we're doing and so on, but how do they get started? How do you start with it? How do you create how do you create openness in a department that has previously been closed?
I think there's always two approaches. One of them is the top-down, one of them is the bottom-up. Right now, we're talking about starting another process where I'm from, in trying to get the community college, higher ed, and the schools into the same system. One of the challenges with any of these things, and we all saw this with wikis when we first started, is that there are a bunch of different systems, people are expected to learn how to do something, and then 2 years later, the project that you did has gone away, and somebody's dealing with the next person. And frankly, a lot of the people who were really invested in the beginning, who saw some potential in this, have gotten tired of that. I think the first thing that you need to be able to commit to anybody, regardless of whether you're going broad-based or in a specific, is that you have a long-term plan. And I would hesitate to start any OER project now where I can't say, we've got 5-year plan, 8-year plan, where we're going to be doing this for a long time, because it's a lot of work. There's big demands from teachers, from the people who get involved in it. And I've been part of so many of sort of dreamy projects over the years where people had great goals and great intentions, but didn't really have the plan nailed down. And I think that for a lot of people, seeing how they're part of something big, something that's long term, even if they're at the beginning of that process, is really important for them to understand what their investment means.
I think in our context, we're actually kind of way behind Dave in my institution. The kind of situation that Dave's talking about, and we're still at the stage where we've got pockets of activity.
Yeah.
So, individual academics publishing things openly online, slides on SlideShare, opening up the classrooms, but it's not at all a planned, coordinated approach. But I think the thing that is changing things is often things are often financially driven or marketing driven, aren't they? And I think in our university that has generally, we are seeing a cultural shift with regards openness as the university is starting to see the benefits of putting videos on YouTube. But it's actually coming from that sort of top-down thing. And then alongside that, we are very, very supportive of open access journals as a university, and it's something our Vice-Chancellor in particular is known for.
Yeah.
So we're in this kind of, we've got the triangle at the moment between the push towards open access in terms of scholarly activity, opening up the promotion for the actual university itself, and then individual practice. So I think that I'd expect us to have a coordinated plan, as Dave's describing, in the next few years. I just think the ground's fertile now.
And I think we're not necessarily answering your actual question, which is how to do it grassroots.
Yeah.
But I'm going to make another not grassroots comment, and that's that when we look at the way that people, there's a financial argument, and certainly that does exist. There's another one as well, and that's that a lot of the funding for higher ed still comes in part from the government. There's less than there used to be, but a lot of it's still there. And one of the things that we're being asked is, what are you doing for the community? Why, if we're going to be giving you however much of a percentage of your school's sort of operating budgets coming from the government, what exactly are you giving back? And I think this is also something that institutions and schools can say, this is part of our process, this is part of what we do. And then you have potentially those partnerships between schools and universities that help produce some of that content as well. I think anytime you ask anybody to do it on their own, it's going to be that much tougher. If you can have the K-12 science schools working with the universities in science, and you can make those kinds of partnerships, and then people can feel like this is part of their responsibility as academics. It's part of because I just don't see how you can put more weight on the top of the teachers. There's no more room in what they're doing for them to take more responsibility at this point. But I think if we can get help to them from various different places, where we can get them to have supports from experts and supports from the government and supports from, the community even, where people like, my grade 1 student, my grade 1 kid, his teacher blogs what they're doing all week. And just that sort of, we're super supportive of that and try to make sure that all the other parents are okay, to make sure that they can start that process of openness. And sometimes that's where it begins. This is what we're doing this week. There's nothing contentious in that. There's nothing, you're not creating a textbook. You're getting into the process of openness, right? And you're allowing the parents into the conversation. You're teaching us as parents how to engage with the school so that they can be that much more comfortable with that process. Teacher can in the next step of the process too. So.
In a way, the key from both of you is that there has to also be a top-down approach. There has to be approval from the top, or at least to get that approval, you can appeal to things that they value. That by becoming more open, we will give more value to the community. That's one of the values that I think most university leaders can latch on to. They yes, that's important to us. We want to create contact with industry, with the local community, with the region's development. By being open, we're helping people to learn about what we're doing. We're sharing our knowledge.
I think sometimes though we need something as simple as a database that just enables people to find this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, because we're having this conversation now and I'm thinking about my colleagues in acoustics that have been putting, one colleague in particular that has been making videos in relation to acoustic phenomena for the last sort of 10 years and putting them online. Those videos have got hundreds of thousands of views.
Yeah.
I've never heard him use the term OER or open educational resources, and yet these resources are used around the world. So, you know, I think there's an issue there. We talk about OER, but there are lots of OERs out there.
We met that guy 15 minutes ago, right? Michael, who is from, I don't know what the town is called.
Gävle.
And he's saying, you know, I'm getting word from students from around Sweden who are calling me up and saying, I don't even need to open my textbook anymore. All I need to do is go and watch your videos and I completely understand the things that are required of me. Now, does he use the word OER? Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't, but probably when he started, he wasn't doing that. It doesn't matter. All he was doing was sharing what he's doing and making it available to other people. And again, there are some people in any of our cultures who still think they should be paid for every bit of content they have. And I don't think there's any sense in trying to convince those people. At some point, we have success models now at the micro level with people like Mikael. At the macro level, in my country, British Columbia is going OER, Washington State in the United States. Those examples are there now. I think that you can put together a coherent pitch that says, here's what it looks like on the micro level, here are examples of it happening at the macro level, here's the amount of money they're talking about saving. And, I mean, in my country, we have, you know, science textbooks that are 10 and 12 years old in the classroom, and that's a problem. Right? If we assume that our classrooms are about content, then it's a huge problem. But even still, you know, we've got we have to make allowances for those textbooks, and you could say that there's a learning opportunity there, but broadly speaking, I think the argument for holding on to them is getting less and less all the time. Caveat being that it's still not easy to keep technology running inside of schools now, right? You can't undersell how hard it is to get a laptop in every kid's hand, how hard it is to keep the technology working inside the classroom. It's still a challenge, and I think we were talking about this today as well. You have to be honest with people about the challenges that OER brings as well, because there are advantages on this side, but on the other side, you know,